The Queen will be the person most upset by the new bombshell book on Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, a source has claimed. Finding Freedom is a biography written by journalists Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durand, who are supporters of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and have set out to correct the record and shift the spotlight onto their charitable ventures. It makes new claims about tensions between the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and the royal family, but a source has claimed it will open old wounds at a time when everyone wanted to move on. It's going to open old wounds at a time when everyone wanted to move on, the family source claimed, speaking to Vanity Fair. I think the person who will be most upset about it all is the Queen. The Sussexes say they did not contribute to the book, but Scobie and Durand's account is based on extensive insight from friends of the couple. The explosive biography has claimed Prince Harry and Meghan Markle hurt the Queen by unilaterally mapping out their future royal roles without her approval. Her Majesty is said to have been blindsided by the launch of the Sussex Royal website which accompanied their Megxit announcement in January. Royal aides told the authors of Finding Freedom, which is being serialized in the Times and Sunday Times, that SussexRoyal.com fleshed out details for a half-in-half-out model which had not been rubber-stamped by the Queen. A senior member of the household was quoted in the book as saying, "The element of surprise, the blindsiding of the Queen, for the other principals who are all very mindful of this, rightfully, it was deeply unsettling. The family is very private and bringing it into the public domain, when they were told not to, hurt the Queen. It was laying out what the Sussexes wanted in a statement without consulting with Her Majesty first, and she's the head of the institution." Meanwhile, The Sun previously reported that royal aides fear the new book could paint Prince William as the bad guy and cause a fresh rift within the royal family, as well as result in potential repercussions for the future monarch. Writing for Vanity Fair, royal expert Katie Nicholl added, "There have been claims that the book will further deepen the rift between William and Harry, who fell out around the time Harry and Meghan got engaged when William voiced concerns that the relationship was moving too quickly. At one point things were so dire between the brothers that they weren't speaking. While it is not known if the brothers have discussed the book and its findings, William will be understandably nervous about airing their grievances in public."
Next news, how depressingly predictable that the authorized but not authorized account of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's rupture with the royal family, and with this country, should rest on the charge of snobbery. The authors of Finding Freedom, though Nelson Mandela the Saint, claim that Prince Harry never got over the impression that his brother had behaved like a snob when Prince William cautioned him against the speedy decision to become betrothed to Meghan Markle. Such a charge against William is, I believe, deeply unfair. If he were truly such a snob, he would never have married someone from a middle-class background in preference to the royal family's traditional marital hunting ground of the stately homes of England. Indeed, the snobbish slights against Kate Middleton, with endless jibes about the fact that her mother had been a whorer, an air hostess, persisted for years during their long on and off premarital relationship. But what does seem believable, from the extracts of the book published over the weekend, is that Prince Harry, for all his apparent modernity and undoubted gifts of empathy for the plight of those less privileged, is himself obsessed with royal rank and status, not least in how it appears to thwart the ambitions that he and his wife should have played a starring role in the development of the royal family as a global brand. There are references to him calling William an important one and complaints about how his own initiatives were repeatedly blocked if they were seen to preempt something that either William or Prince Charles were planning. Moreover, Harry was furious when, after their break from the monarchy was announced, he and Meghan were not asked to be part of the official procession in the Commonwealth service at Westminster Abbey. It was to be just the Prince of Wales, the Duchess of Cornwall and the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge alongside the Queen. Obviously, that decision reflected changed circumstances. But even before that rupture, it seems that Harry found it difficult to accept that he was simply less central to the future of the royal family, because of the time-honored precepts of precedence and succession. The word monarchy, after all, means rule of one, although reign rather than rule is the more appropriate word in the democratic era. The monarch is the son and every other member of the family is a mere satellite, whose official status is only as a representative of the person who wears the crown. And with each successive child produced by William and Kate, Prince Harry's position in the order of precedence was demoted. The same applied, in an earlier generation, to Prince Andrew. He was a more glamorous and, back then, more popular figure than his elder brother. But this, and the fact that he is as much the son of the Queen as is the Prince of Wales, was irrelevant, and ever more so as Charles produced his own heirs. According to the authors of Finding Freedom, who claim to have sourced everything impeccably, Harry and Meghan believe that their undoubted charisma could take the royal family to a new level. But leaving aside the presumption, it is simply not the case that the pecking order in the royal family can be based on something like the Hollywood star system, in which the most dazzling talent gets top billing. The royal family is not a meritocracy. How could it be? Nor is membership of the royal family about self-realization or personal ambitions, even if that ambition is nothing more than a desire to make the world a better place, which many Hollywood actors profess as their true aim in life. If this sounds as though I am putting the blame for this debacle on Meghan Markle, that is far from the case. First of all, from what I have been able to glean from those who have had personal dealings with them, she is much the more level-headed of the couple, and wonderful at calming down Harry, trying to make sure he does not act hastily, or purely out of rage. Irascibility is a characteristic of Windsor males, down the generations. Also, I think it unreasonable to have expected Meghan to understand the peculiarities and practices of the British monarchy. Nothing in her life could have prepared her for it. Someone who has, in the best American way, achieved what she did by striving mightily in a brutally competitive system, might well be perplexed by an institution in which inherited status counts for much more than who delivers the lines most flawlessly, or even who best looks the part. But Prince Harry can claim no such puzzlement. He was born and brought up in it. Indeed, it is the only reason for his eminence or public status. And he is, in fact, as sensitive to its various gradations, invisible to those outside the court, as any more supposedly traditional member of the royal family. For example, he was put out by the fact that at his wedding to Meghan Markle, Prince William was wearing the aigulette over the right shoulder and chest, which is the insignia of a personal aide-de-camp to the monarch, for Harry had not got that rank. Anyway, if the Duke of Sussex was indeed thus annoyed, this matter of status was quickly resolved to his satisfaction. Within months, Harry too was appointed a personal aide-de-camp to the Queen. That was a request to which Her Majesty could happily and easily accede. Not so Harry's demands, as if you could ever demand of the monarch, for him and Meghan both to be full members of the royal family with all the status connected with that, and also run what amounted to a personal promotional enterprise under the Sussex royal brand. Again, I don't blame Meghan Markle for, to put it politely, that misunderstanding. From her point of view, it probably didn't seem odd at all, or at least no odder than the royal family must already have seemed to her. That Prince Harry didn't appear to understand is, however, extraordinary. But she will get the bulk of the public blame for the debacle, not least because Harry, especially in the wake of the tragic loss of his mother, had a special place in the hearts of much of the British people, whereas Meghan Markle was not even known to them until she came into his life. This conforms to an insidiously insistent prejudice. It goes back, after all, to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, of a fundamentally innocent man being manipulated by a woman, with the implicit suggestion that he has been seduced by lust to act stupidly in a way he would never otherwise have done. It is an all too convenient tale, often deeply unfair to what is a partnership of mutual interest, rather than a hapless booby being ordered about by a monstrous female. What is abundantly clear is that Harry believed the woman he chose for his wife had not been given the respect he felt she deserved, both from his brother and the court as a whole. Well, I would never criticize a man for standing up for his wife. I feel positively murderous if I sense that my own wife has been treated disrespectfully by anyone. But the more one delves into this, the more it seems that Harry's rage at the alleged lack of proper respect shown to Meghan, and the charge in finding freedom that he thought William had behaved like a snob in his initial reaction to this girl, stemmed from a long-standing resentment at the way in which he felt he was always being put second to his elder brother. That elder brother is also the one who will, in the end, become the person to whom Harry must bow, as his king. It is an old story. And Harry should have known it all along. Next news, Paul Burrell says Harry and Meghan pretended not to know about bombshell biography. Paul Burrell, former butler to Princess Diana, appeared on Good Morning Britain on Monday where he spoke to hosts Kate Garraway and Ben Shepherd. He insisted that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle knew about the newly released biography Finding Freedom, but pretended they did not. A spokesman for Harry and Meghan said the couple did not contribute to the book, but he did not deny the content of the first of 3 days of extracts published in the Times and Sunday Times. Paul also spoke about the alleged rift between Harry and his brother Prince William, and said William was not a snob, as it was recently claimed. He maintained William would just have been concerned about his brother and his new wife as they battled media scrutiny that eventually led them to step back from royal duties. It's likely that William and Harry did know about this book and turned a blind eye to that, he stated. Personal friends have obviously given exclusives to journalists. I would like to say that I didn't like the headlines in the tabloids. William is not a snob, that is not true, he would only show concern for his brother by marrying someone and bringing them into the royal family. Trying to educate them and say, it's not easy for anyone marrying into this family and I'm concerned about you. We are talking about two very different personalities here. William is rational and calm, and Harry is fiery and hot at times, and so there was obviously a conflict between. But Meghan soon found out when she married into the family that she would come up against the Greysuits, which Princess Diana found, and they're the people that run the other households within the royal family. And you can't come across those because they're the ones who run the show. He went on, I did read an article also that said when Meghan and Harry came back from Canada they wanted to see the Queen, and they went through the official channels. No, they shouldn't have done that. They live at Frogmore. Just a stone's throw away from the Queen's sitting room at Windsor Castle. They could have walked up the hill with Archie and a bunch of flowers, popped in to see Granny and said, "Hi Granny, we're home." That would have been the way to do it, bypass the protocol and go to the family.